everyone. This is Fallon, and we're here today on The Starving Artist with Julio Carmona, and we're going to talk about his video game, Youra, and all the other stuff that comes with being an animator. Tell us about yourself, Julio.
Well, I'm a game developer. I've been developing games for roughly about 14 years now. I've developed for Xbox, Steam, and Google Play. Trying to get myself into other platforms like Switch, but I'll be honest, PlayStation's probably not going to be one of them, and we can probably go into detail about that later. I also do animations. I've been doing it just as long as, probably longer than game development, but I've been doing animations for, quite some time, and I do kind of contract work. I get paid, I should say, by Predator for my animations on YouTube and other platforms like that. Predator being the company that does Timmy Turner and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
But yeah.
So, do you have a non-compete, or could people who are watching this commission you for animation?
Yeah.
Do you take up?
Yeah,
that's cool. That's awesome.
I'd probably be way cheaper than most because I don't necessarily I don't have 100 animations.
Yeah.
I'm not some big animator.
Yeah.
I'm just.
You'll get there.
We can hope, right?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Youra can get me there and get my foot through the door, and I can do that because I actually enjoy animation more than I do game development.
Yeah. Can I ask you what inspired Youra?
What inspired Youra? Well, to get there, I guess we'll go into the lore of how Youra actually came to be. So originally, let's start from the very beginning.
Okay.
So there used to be a game I really, really enjoyed. Probably one of my top 3 favorite games. It was called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, okay.
Back in it came out in 2010, around there, 2012, on the 360. Sometime around 2014, 2015, Ubisoft, they just delisted it off Xbox. If you didn't have it downloaded, it's gone. You lost it. So for roughly 8 years, I'd say, I furiously looked around for a 360 that had Scott Pilgrim downloaded on it. So I was and eventually, I kind of gave up on it, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna make my own Scott Pilgrim game. So originally, I started making a fan game of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I put a lot of my love into it. I drew everything because every game that I've worked on, even my animations, they're all hand-drawn, digitally hand-drawn, drawing tablet.
Gotcha, yeah.
I'll just say hand-drawn. They're all hand-drawn, and that kind of stuff. Makes me kind of feel my characters more. When I'm drawing a character all angry, I kind of make it an angry face. I feel my characters. So I really enjoy kind of feeling it, feeling the characters. Anyways, so as I was working on this game, I think I got pretty close to the end of the game itself. And right before, I'd say probably 2-3 months before I released the game, it was just going to be, on free on some random website, whatever. Suddenly, a trailer for Scott Pilgrim releases on YouTube for the game's re-release 10-year anniversary. So, sitting there, I'm all okay, I just spent a lot of time on this, probably 2 years on it. I'm not going to just throw it away, and uploading a fan game makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, because originally it was going to be Scott Pilgrim characters in downtown Appleton and stuff like that, instead of Toronto and all that.
Oh, that's cool.
And so eventually I was okay, well, I'm not going to just throw this away. I just did all this. I spent a lot of time on this. I'm going to make my own version of it. I'm going to scrap all these characters. I'm going to animate my own characters, blah, 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 blah. So immediately I thought about what the story can be. The story ended up being a main character. His name was Syl, and the main villain was supposed to be Ho. I got it backwards. The main character was Hoet. The main villain was Syl. They were both copies of each other, kind of like Scott Pilgrim and Mega Scott. where it's just Scott Pilgrim but all dark and evil, whatever. And I came up with the name because when you put their names together, you get Silhouette.
Oh,
So it's Silhouette Sil. And as I was working on the game, I wasn't really enjoying the art very much. It didn't feel very original. Like I felt like this was kind of a waste of time.
Okay.
A little bit. Then before I was getting to the point where I was about to scrap the game, and then my wife showed me a whole bunch of sketches, and she's like, "You should do these characters, blah 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 blah." And because she was kind of like at the time I was in a band, she was just like, while we were in band practice, she would like draw me and my bandmates, the homies that are with us, herself, all that stuff, and her characters really like caught my attention. And in that moment, I knew, Silhouette, you're out of here. We're putting this character here. What? Her name is Youra? Cool. Boom. And
awesome.
Youra became the main character of the game, just like that. From there, I already had downtown Appleton drawn out, and I was like, you know what? Why am I just making a game about, where I live? Let's really make it what Appleton's about. Let's get some artists in this. Let's get some local voice actors. Let's get some local bands. Let's get some local businesses to be the shops for the characters to upgrade. And then over the years, it just came together.
That's really cool. Can I ask what local businesses agreed to be your businesses in the video game?
Yeah. So we got Press Start Games.
Okay.
We got Mims. We got I'm going off the top of my head here. Mims. Infused Organics. We got Meow Meow Sushi. We got Satori Imports. Awakenings in Oshkosh.
Okay.
I feel like I'm missing two more here. Okay, I can't really think of all of
That's
them.
so
but
cool.
Player 2.
Player 2?
Player
Okay, that's
2.
awesome that they agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I can't think of much more, but yeah. So those are some of the local businesses. Some of the levels consists of like downtown Appleton, Peabody Park in Appleton, downtown Oshkosh, Green Bay. I even went as far down. Excuse me. I kind of wanted to like also expand a little bit outside of Wisconsin, so I got like Chicago, and I also wanted to kind of put my own heritage in the game. Heritage, I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
Where I'm from, and I also threw in Puerto Rico in there as well. And like in Puerto Rico, there used to be like Taino, and what's the word? Indigenous, Indians.
Indigenous First Nations.
First Nations, whatever the word may be. Tainos.
Yeah.
Tainos were the people that used to be there before Columbus.
Gotcha.
And there's like carvings on rocks and stuff like that. So I made sure to like throw stuff like that in the game. The island's signature is the Hokie frog. They take stuff like that seriously, like the rainforest and all that stuff. So I threw everything that like symbolizes Puerto Rico and threw it in there. Cause like I even went as far as like the sound for the game. Like I don't know if you know what a Hokie frog is. It's like
I don't think so. No.
It's a golden frog. It's about this small. They usually hang out in the rainforest, but they're everywhere in Puerto Rico. And they make this sound where it goes.
Oh, nice.
And so I even threw like sounds like that in the game and whatnot when you're in the rainforest. And yeah.
That's really cool. How many hours of game time are there on the game?
Like if you were to play through it?
Yeah.
I think I figured this out a little bit ago. Probably like a year ago. So I'm kind of going off memory here.
Okay.
So if you were to just speed run the game, just try and beat the game as fast as possible, you're looking at about 1 to 2 hours.
Okay.
Roughly. It depends, how many times you die and stuff.
Okay.
If you don't die and you beat everything first try, probably about an hour.
Well, that won't be me.
No, the game was actually, I designed the game in a specific way that if you do that, you better be overpowered, because the minute you get slowed down and those enemies catch up to you, your life is erased.
Yeah.
So like the game, it's not hard,
Yeah.
But if you're impatient, you will die often.
Okay. And is there levels or is it just one mode?
There's different levels to it.
Okay.
So the first level starts pretty basic, left to right, beat the enemies, blah, 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 blah. But then as you continue through the story, it kind of changes a little bit. So, like in the third level, when you first go to Puerto Rico, it kind of becomes like an open world a little bit.
Okay.
So, like instead of just going from left to right, now you gotta like explore around and destroy these statues, collect the Goki frogs, and that unlocks the door so you can get to the boss room.
Okay.
It's not extreme changes, but it's like slight
Yeah.
changes like that to kind of make it feel a little newer. Or like in the sixth level when you're, or the fifth level, when you're in Chicago, before you get to the boss room, you need to survive for minutes in the bus. You need to survive for a minute at the bus while enemies just randomly spawn, and you got two enemies you can't touch, but they're constantly throwing like projectiles at you. And you can't stand still because obviously they're gonna hit you. So you gotta keep moving around while fighting enemies that are spawning.
Yeah, and then when you play it, when you like log in, can you pick easy, medium, or hard, or is it all one mode?
So it's all one mode.
Okay.
Specifically because, like I mentioned prior, it's not a hard game.
Yeah.
It's hard if you make it hard. Rushing through the game, you're at level, you somehow make it to level 3, but you're only level 1 because you're not getting experience. You're not exploring the shops and upgrading your character. You're not buying anything to heal, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Or especially if you're playing by yourself, then it's going to be difficult. It's going to be easier if you get some friends to play with you.
Yeah. And then how would you get people to play this game if they were asking you about it? Like, what do you think people need to know about it?
I guess that kind of depends. What I would say depends on who the person is, because if it's somebody that lives around here, then I'm going to be talking about, hey, you're going to be playing a game where you're going to recognize places. You're going to see Houdini Plaza, you're going to see downtown Oshkosh, you're going to see Green Bay, you're going to see Chicago.
Yeah.
And because like when I drew these levels, I didn't just like randomly draw it and call it Appleton. Like I specifically picked some buildings, Houdini Plaza, some more buildings to look as similar as possible, and then I drew it.
Is this building in there? It's right next to Houdini's.
I think you can probably see it in the back of Houdini Plaza. You can see it. Yeah. I mean, it is 8-bit, so it might not be too detailed.
Oh no.
But if it was, because it's behind Houdini, so if it was there, whatever you can see from the front of Houdini is whatever you will see in the game.
Oh, cool. I have a lot of familiarity with your game. I heard my best friend you designed a character after her.
Michaela?
Yeah.
Yes. She hasn't been thrown in yet.
No.
Because, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but the game is still in active development, so there's going to continuously be updates. I actually have to release an update when I get home today.
Yeah.
Which is, what did I do? Oh, yeah, I was fixing some bugs. Just some bugs some people found. So I'm usually pretty quick about fixing bugs, adding things and stuff like that, as long as I'm not being nasty impossible. Like add a whole new boss. It's like, that's going to take a lot of planning. I can't just throw a boss anywhere, But, somebody asked about more costumes, and I'm in the middle of adding more costumes now, Like, I'm more than willing to add what people want within reason. And with the game being in active development, places like downtown Appleton, I wanted to feel more filled. I wanted to feel more full, so I'm always adding more of my friends as NPCs. I'm still drawing more people. I'm still drawing more obstacles, more enemies for more variations, and the list goes on.
Really cool. I really like that. And you said, I know we talked about it off camera, but you said you don't have an official release date yet, right? Because you're still working with Xbox and Steam and Google Play.
Correct. So, because Xbox is going to take time.
Mm-hmm.
Not extremely long, I hope, but it's going to take time. They like to plan ahead from what it seems. Very far ahead. So, even if they were to say something today, the game probably won't have a release date until next year, fall, for example.
Okay.
Because they also, when I spoke to them, when I went to Washington, I went to their studio and I spoke to like their senior developer and all that. There are specific dates that they're going to want to play with my game because, for example, if I were to release the game this November, I'd be screwing myself going against GTA 6. You know, so they wanna, or if I were to do it in February, I'd be screwing myself because of Fable. There's just all these games that are all these AAA games that have specific release windows.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of once they give me the thumbs up, it's up to them when I'm releasing it.
Yeah, well, and I think the fall makes sense because it kind of has an aesthetic of fall on your card.
If I were to guess, they probably would want it sometime around August, September next year if they were to say yes. That's my guess. Obviously, we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I'm trying to just keep updating the game as much as possible. More combo attacks, more variations and costumes, all that stuff. Because rather than having idle hands, I might as well just keep making it better.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. And you made another game when you were a teenager, right?
Yes, yeah, my very first game, Thin Miner.
Thin Miner, okay. And that was just on Google Play?
Correct.
What was the premise of that game?
So that one, considering it was my first game, it was, I was pretty much just learning how to make a game. I didn't want to make anything too crazy, and, being a 14-year-old, you can't just buy any game you want. So having the mentality that I did back then, obviously, just like most kids did back then, I wanted Minecraft.
Okay.
I wanted Minecraft, I wanted Terraria. And so I decided, let's make a 2D Minecraft. So it was a good way for me to learn how to develop games, and while also getting what I wanted. So I created a game called Thin Miner on Google Play. It was 2D Minecraft, and I think after about a month, surprisingly, out of everything I've ever made, my very first public project is what made over 1 million downloads, which, I mean, to this day is still like, how can I get those numbers again?
Can you still download that?
You can download like a newer version because there was some issues that I had with my account. So, long story short, lost the account. It was because when you upload a game, specifically to Google Play, I can't really say the same for every other platform. But Google Play, when you upload a game, there's like an upload license or whatever it's called. I can't remember it off the top of my head. And if I were to lose that, I can no longer update or do anything to the game. So of course, I did the best thing anyone could do. I lost it. So I had no choice but to get rid of it because with the phones updating and the APIs, the game was no longer playable. So I had no choice but to delete it. And on my new account, I uploaded a newer version. It's not doing obviously 1 million downloads better, but I think it's sitting at like probably 500 or 1,000 downloads, something like that.
Okay.
Which is like whatever. It's a free game. I made it for fun. And then I re-uploaded it because why not?
Because you wanted to. No, that's really cool. It's cool when you can like just make something for fun and it does really well. Even if you don't have access to it anymore. It's like a big, cool accomplishment.
Yeah, I kind of wish I didn't delete it so that I don't just have empty words to share. Because it's like, what proof do you have? Your trust in me?
I trust you.
Well, unfortunately, all I have is words.
Well, you're still developing games, so it just doesn't feel like a lie, you know?
Yeah, I suppose there is some background to it.
Yeah. And then you also animate. What else have you animated?
I've done a lot of collaboration projects with other animators. So like when now I think about it, Frederator hasn't done it in a while, but Frederator would have these videos where you would sign up for it, and it's like first come first serve, and everyone in the whole network gets like a 3-second segment, however long segment of one whole video. So it would be like, for example, if I remember correctly, they did like a Shrek retelling, if I remember correctly. It was a retelling of a whole movie.
Okay.
and everyone got like 30 seconds, 15 seconds to animate.
Okay.
So every like 15 to 30 seconds, the animation would change and it's somebody else. And then they would just upload it and.
Where do they post these? Like, where can you watch them?
YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's Frederator?
Frederator, yep. So they, you probably would recognize Frederator from like, they animated like Bee and Puppy Cat. They animated things like Adventure Time, Timmy Turner, Jimmy Neutron.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they got most of that in their channel as well too, so you can see a lot of that in their channel. I don't think they really upload community animations such as myself, but they do add it to like a playlist sometimes. So
Okay.
I don't know if they still have my videos on their playlist. I know it's been a long time, but
Yeah. Is there anything like you want to animate in the future that you're like, aside from video games?
well, I'm hoping my plan that I'm hoping, I should say, is that Youra can get me through the door so that I could, for example, make enough sales so I can go full time for, let's say, a year. Because what I want to do is that I want to animate Youra. I want to make an animated series of it. Or if I even can, I want to animate a movie of it and try and get it into theaters, for example.
I would love that. Like, I'm freaking out over here.
I think, I think the local movie theaters might be cool with that. You know, if
I know
100%.
Time Cinema and Oshkosh would. I don't know. Marcus, I think you can like apply for that sort of thing. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how any of that would work, but I want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's kind of hard to, work 40 hours a week and make an animation that takes me, like if I were to put 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day, and this is already talking about experience, not even a guess. 6, 8 hours a day on an animation, and after 3 months, you only have a 2-minute animation. I can only imagine how long it would take to animate a whole movie or even a pilot, working 40 hours a week.
That's actually a great segue for something I would like to talk about. I'm not sure if I can put it into a question form, but I don't know if you ever noticed how people kind of like act like all animation, like TV shows and movies, are like children's shows, and like don't like it as much because they're not live action.
Yeah.
Does that bother you too?
No, everyone's got their own opinions. Like the thing is, you gotta. How do I put this into words? The best shows are usually created by those with open minds,
Yeah.
And if you're very judgy, then who's going to support your show?
Yeah.
Imagine if somebody were to make a homophobic animation. It's like, okay, you're gonna get a whole bunch of like MAGA people or whatever people. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not gonna succeed. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. They'll probably just use AI for that if it was those people.
Well, I mean, from what I've seen from the White House, I think that's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
Like, actually, now that you mentioned that, whenever I do see posts like that, and I'm trying not to get political, by the way. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm political. I'm pretty bad about not being political.
I'm the opposite. I don't like to get political. But it's kind of funny that you're mentioning that because every time I do see, like, homophobic or I know I keep saying that word, but I can't think of other words like that. So I'm just gonna keep it to that. Homophobic post. It's always AI, like an AI image. I don't know why.
It fits the bill though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other video games you want to make?
Actually, because obviously I have to kind of like figure out what I want to do with Youra. And waiting for Xbox, I don't want to have idle hands either.
Yeah.
So I'm actually in the middle of making an FPS game right now.
Okay.
So that one is pretty much, I don't know how many games you've played, but the best way for me to explain it is the graphics of Doom from like 90s, where it's like sprites or whatever, 8-bit.
Okay.
It's got the gameplay of Overwatch with the game mechanics, like the menu and stuff like that, of Left 4 Dead 2.
Okay.
Or Left 4 Dead 1, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much to summarize, and I don't really have a story or anything like that. So anything I say right now could potentially change in the future.
It's just vibes.
Yeah, pretty much. It's so there's 12 heroes. Each one has their own abilities and the way they play. You know, one's Umbra, the sniper. He's like a hitman. One's called Astra. She's a child of the stars, and she she shoots stars out of her hands to do damage, but she can also like teleport and stuff like that. Then the other one is Nyx. She's the vampire princess. She heals her teammates at the cost of her own life, and she can heal by doing damage. So everyone's got their own unique abilities, and you're pretty much just. I'm also doing kind of like a similar thing with Youra, where I'm using real locations. So like right now, the very first level, of course, is Puerto Rico. It's the castle there because it's like a city and then a huge field, and then you got the castle right there. So that's like how I'm doing the first level, and then I'll probably do somewhere in Appleton again, and so on and so forth.
Well, that's still cool though, like to have that background and have people like for local, for people like here see like, hey, like that's based in my city. So I play a game where I recognize everything.
And I think it's going to be more exciting than Youra, in my opinion, because I know FPS is like big right now, but I think what's really going to excite people is that you can freely walk around rather than like just being in a background. It's like an open world. You can freely walk around the city because I'm going to be modeling it, at least trying to say model it as perfect as possible.
Okay.
So I think the FPS will, hoping, does even better than Youra. Not saying I don't want Youra to do good. I want it to do good. But I feel like the FPS is just going to do better.
That's like you start with something and then you get another idea and then you're more excited about it. So you put more stuff into it and you realize, hey, I like this idea more. Like it's not. I feel like it's kind of normal.
And I mean, I think it's going to be very fun because there's also like online multiplayer. So you get to play with friends locally or internet-wise.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel it's like in pre-alpha right now, so you can like technically play the game right now. Obviously, there's no textures to walls or anything like that. Excuse me. But I mean, I think it's looking pretty good so far. And of course, it's all hand drawn, so the lines aren't perfect. I'd say it's similar to like Ed and Nettie when it comes to the animation, where it kind of like shakes a little bit when they're standing still. Because I don't really copy and paste from frame to frame.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a hand standing still, I draw every frame. So that I don't know if that might turn off some people, but that's my style.
Well, I loved editing. So
yeah.
I probably would like that. About both of your games, but what is it like to be an artist while also working a full-time job?
Stressful. I don't want to ignore my 2 babies at home. I got 2 cats at home because they are dependent, like bad. They follow me to the bathroom. They try and jump on me. I counted 14 times straight of my cat trying to jump on me, and I'm like, I'm working, like my game.
Yeah.
And as soon as my hand goes back to drawing, it tries to get back on me, and again, it's like, so I got those 2. Then I got my wife. I want to be outside and do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm working 40 hours a week, and of course, the work itself.
Mm-hmm.
The games. So honestly, sometimes it's just very stressful. Sometimes I just want to shut down the computer and just play Xbox.
Yeah.
But then I know every day that I do that, every day that I just go watch TV. Because obviously I like spending time with my babies and my wife. But things like watching TV, playing games, things like that, it's like, that's a day lost, a day behind, an idea that I could have had, et cetera, that
you don't find that playing games sometimes inspire you?
I mean, it does to a certain point because, like, when I make a game, I don't want to copy.
No. No. Inspiration.
It's like, it inspires me, but the hard thing about it is that I get very focused. I play competitively, but so I tend to not really think too much about it. But I mean, I guess there is its advantages because playing competitively, it's like, okay, this is how I feel when this character uses their ability. This is how long it's gonna take. I know when it's gonna be there. I'm going to feel it, and I'm going to prepare myself to outplay that with the character. So it's little things like that that help me with when the time comes with the FPS game, balancing the game so nothing is too overpowered and everyone that gets the game is just playing this one character because this one character can one shot every character or whatever the heck it may be.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is the part that inspires me the most. It's like being so into Overwatch competitively, because to put it into perspective, because I know a lot of people can be like, okay, I play this game competitively, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, but to really understand the characters, you need to be in like top 500 in your region.
Okay.
Which, like, I know that kind of sounds like egoistical a little bit, but it's like those are the type of people that understand the characters. They know when where you're going. They know how to time your abilities. They know how to outplay you, no matter when you're countering them. They know what you're trying to do when they can't even see you. You know, like there'll be times where I know I'm talking about like Overwatch here a little bit. I don't know how much you know about it.
I know like very little. I'm an Animal Crossing and Super Mario.
That's fine. It's just like I'm just trying to like
yeah.
connect it to my game a little bit,
Yeah.
trying not to confuse you. But like you know, there's been times where I'm this character Tracer. I'm about to teleport to the other side. No one has seen me.
Yeah.
No one. I didn't find anyone. I just came out of spawn, and then there's just this character Hog, Roadhog, and his hook is already going to where I'm going.
Okay.
And then he hooks me and it kills me. You know, being in high rank, because I'm in high rank. I'm in top 500. Being in high rank really, compared to being just playing the game competitively low rank, whatever, really helps to understand balancing. It helps because like I know I can keep giving a whole list of this, but like it's just usually when I'm playing with others, they think this character's broken. I hate this character, delete them, and it's like you're just not understanding the game good enough.
Yeah. So you really like study video games. Like you seem to like really have a good understanding of like the characters, the gameplay, and everything of the game you did create.
Yeah. So I mean that's the thing. That's what's been helping me. That's why I say that it's like an advantage playing the way that I do with Overwatch, because it really like puts me into that perspective where it's like I can't be self-centered and be thinking, oh, screw this character.
Mm-hmm.
Screw this character. I'm gonna delete him and make him useless. You know, like it's like you know, because that's all I ever hear when I'm playing with my friends on Overwatch, and I don't say anything. Obviously, like I'm not gonna be a d-bag to my friends because we lost the game and they don't know how to beat this one character. You know, like it's like okay, whatever. But in my head, you know, in silence, you know, I think to myself like, you just didn't switch to this character, which counters that character, and they would be useless, and you would have won.
Yeah.
You know,
so playing games does help you with like your development of games.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the inspiration part, but definitely, well, it does inspirationally. But I think what really helps me is truly like understanding. You know, I guess statistics. I guess is that the right word?
Maybe.
You know, like stats and what the heck else. Game mechanics. There we go. We'll say that. Game mechanics. It really makes me understand. So that way, like I mentioned prior, when people are playing the game, especially if I decide to make it player versus player, I don't have everyone fighting for one character because this character destroys everything. You know?
Yeah.
So I think that helps a lot.
Sorry, I lost what I was going to ask you next.
No, you're fine. I know I kind of got a little bit into it because I'm good. I'm like trying to explain about something you don't play, so I'm like trying to think.
You did a good job. I think I got what you mean. Like you really fully like it's. I get what you're saying in a way, in a different way. I kind of study like sitcom characters the way you just said that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Like I feel like I would know how sitcom characters would act in certain situations.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, actually, the next question I wanted to ask you is: do you make any other kind of art that's not animation or game development? I know those kind of go hand in hand.
No, not yet.
Anything else?
I mean, all the merch that we have for Youra, I made them all myself.
Okay.
You know, like the shirts, the buttons, because I have like a button maker. What else? I made the stickers. You know, I got a printer and the sticker paper. I cut them up. I dry it, print it, cut it up, all that. I have a 3D printer. I like to print a lot of things, paint them. I take art commissions from people, you know, and I'll draw them stuff, whether it's one thing or the other.
Okay, cool.
And I'm currently learning how to tattoo. I just tattooed myself on with my machine, and I did a good job. And I know everyone says the same thing. You're probably gonna say the same thing. My tattoo lining, perfect, beautiful. It's just faded because, wow, does it hurt? So
yeah, I
and
know.
everyone always just tells me the exact same thing, that it's that's because you're doing it to yourself, and it's like,
I actually
regardless.
I actually disagree. I have a low pain tolerance. So my dad did this tattoo. The line work is not good because my dad was tattooing me. And I trust him, so I felt like I could be myself. Like I didn't have to like tense up as much, which is not good for a tattoo either. But I was a little shaky, so the line work's not amazing. But my dad did it, so it's like really cool to me. I'm like, I have a tattoo that my dad did on me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's really cool that you're learning to tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't ever do like a business or anything like that. But like, if somebody wants a tattoo, it's like, all right, dude, buy me a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And I'll do it.
Yeah. Trades. I love trades.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I should have just said that. A trade.
Yeah, I sound busy though. Got a lot to do and work and, you know, wife and babies.
Yeah.
Cat babies. I have cat babies too.
There's also, you know, like I also do comic books as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
I have a few comic series I've been working on, but two of them have been on hiatus for the past 2 years because of Youra.
Okay.
Dealing with that, being so close to, at the time, pre-releasing, early access release.
Okay.
Being so close to early access release, we were going to like anime conventions and all sorts of stuff. We built like an arcade machine, and we played Youra on there when we went to these conventions. So it was really hard to balance all of that with my comics. So they've been on hiatus for a little bit now, which, I mean, I'll probably start getting back to them very soon here.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. There's so much going on. Do you ever feel like giving up? Like just letting go?
There has definitely been times that I have definitely just crashed out and just sat on my chair just looking up, thinking to myself like, dang, I'm still, you know, I'm 28. I know I got like all this that's happening and stuff, and I know something's gonna happen sooner or later. I just have to be patient. But like, I'm 28. I'm working at Jimmy John's right now. Like, I don't know how much longer I need to keep waiting. You know, I've been working on Youra for 9 years, and I know it's going on Xbox. I know Xbox is going to help me, you know, et cetera, but, like, there's always that chance of failure. You know, all 9 years out down the drain, just like that, because the game failed, you know. Yeah. And that fear is, well, I mean, it's terrifying, you know. It's, that's like spending a decade building a statue just for some guy to come and tip it over, you know. And especially hearing things like downtown Appleton and what they're doing with the grant, it's like, imagine if I made the progress that I did now with just $1 a day of advertisement. I can only imagine with the grants what the reach that I could get. You know, use throwing 100 a day into advertisement, I can only imagine the numbers I'd get out of that. And that's not even like what companies do. They do like thousands.
Yeah. No, advertising, I don't put any money into it, so I have no idea what it could do.
It definitely did good numbers
Yeah.
for the beginning because I put the game on discount. I was when it first released to kind of do like if you support us while we're working on the game, here's a discount. So we were advertising it for a little bit. We literally just did. I think it was I don't know if it was $1 or $5 a day. I'm pretty sure it was like $5 a day.
Okay.
And we pretty much made like 600 people. I said made. We got 600 people or 1,000 people, something like that, each day to visit the website.
Okay.
Or maybe it was more than that. I know we're at 1 million now.
Oh, nice. That's a good accomplishment. That's a great accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you. But actually, let me take that back. 1 million was probably a few months ago.
Okay.
So I don't know what it is now.
Okay. Yeah. But that feeling of like laying back and being like, what if I just give up? Like, what brings you back from that?
I mean, it's gonna sound a little corny.
That's
I'll
fine.
be honest. But just thinking about like my wife, because she really wants to like move to Puerto Rico, and I know we can like do it right now if we really want to. But the thing is, like, first of all, I want to start with the fact that I don't want her to get a job out there. It's a little spooky out there.
Okay.
To the point where when we visited, like, Ubers canceled on us because we were in a specific neighborhood. Ubers don't take you home after like 10 o'clock. It's going to be difficult for you to find a ride home. You're going to be waiting like an hour for an Uber to pick you up or to accept you, and I don't want her to have to worry about that. And I don't want to have to worry about that. So that's like my first concern. My second concern is I don't want to work in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Like a lot of it is a lot of local businesses.
Gotcha.
The biggest issue is I know I'm Puerto Rican. I know I can speak Spanish, but the problem with that is I understand better than I speak it.
Okay.
I can speak it,
Yeah.
but I'm going to be stuttering thinking, what's that word? What's that word? The thing that cuts the grass.
Yeah.
Lawnmower. Oh, yes, that word.
Yeah.
I'll be like that to them. But if you say the word lawnmower to me, I'm gonna know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it perfectly. Speaking it, I don't know. I think I overthink too much. Plus, on top of that, we'd be impeding on my aunt and uncle staying there because we would be staying with them. Just too many things. So, like, I really just want to. So, thinking about that and making her happy, going out there and whatnot with money, is what kind of like wakes me up. And it's like, okay, just keep working. Like, Thin Miner made 1 million downloads before.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it again.
Yeah.
I don't care how many times it takes. I can do it again.
Yeah.
If a 15-year-old me can do it, 28-year-old me can do it.
Yeah.
And because I want, when we move there, I want to be able to take her wherever. I want to be able to buy her what she needs, buy myself what I need, my cats. I don't want money to be an issue. Long story short.
Many of us don't,
Yeah.
I wish that was like nobody's issue. Nobody had to worry about it.
Well, I mean, I agree, but it's just a little scarier in Puerto Rico because, it's not that Puerto Rico's a bad place. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just, for example, driving a car down there, you got potholes everywhere, for starters. People drive like crazy, and I'm saying like probably worse than California.
Okay.
Or maybe equal to California. I don't know how bad California is. I know it's bad.
You're mostly stuck in traffic in California.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know what it was. I think it was maybe Florida. I just know there was a state everyone always refers to as crazy drivers. And it's like, in Puerto Rico, you'll get people on the highway going 3 lanes over, like 3 cars in a row doing that. Like, it's not rare like every other car.
I just did Milwaukee when you say.
Okay, that's a good one. Milwaukee, but slightly more aggressive, I'd say. You cut that's what I was trying to figure out. An example. My uncle accidentally cut off a motorcyclist.
Okay.
The motorcyclist cut him off and stopped immediately. And next thing you know, you got 6 other motorcycles with shotguns surrounding his car.
Oh my god.
It's stuff like that that worries me, and I don't want to have to worry about that by saying, yeah, can you go to Walmart and go pick this up for me? Like, no, I will.
Okay.
I will. You just stay at home, watch TV. I just want to go, when I go down there, I just want us to relax and have a good time.
Yeah.
We don't need to live luxurious, but if I were to get like $1,000 a month from my games or any of my projects, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
I don't need that much money to be happy. I mean, I'm in that position right now. I could work more hours and make more money, but I don't because I make enough to have my bills paid, to get my cats fed, to feed my wife and get her stuff, get my stuff, and have time to work on my games.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I don't need to work. I don't need more money.
Yeah, you don't want to pull away from your art either.
Yeah.
If you work more, you're losing time, and you might be more tired.
Yeah.
It's hard. That's hard. Where could people watching follow your work, follow you, know stuff about what's going on with Youra or your future projects?
YouTube, TikTok, and my Facebook
Okay.
is where probably the most likely, especially like Facebook, because I mean, YouTube is, I just want to keep that to just like animations and maybe some gameplay videos in the future, but like you're not going to get as many gameplay videos until I start getting closer to the end of its development.
Yeah.
TikTok is just more like, oh, check out this cool drawing I did. Cool.
Yeah.
And then, but my Facebook, because that's where it just seems like I've gotten the best reach. So that's where I post like, okay, this is the plan, this is what's happening, this is what it looks like, this is that, and yeah.
And are you Julio Carmona on all of that, like just Julio Carmona, or do you have an @ that's different?
Yeah, I think they're all the JJ12344.
Okay.
Besides Facebook, yeah.
Besides Facebook. Okay. Well then, if you're looking for an animator or new video game, check him out on that stuff. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about regarding your art or being an artist, like being an independent? Well, would you call yourself an independent artist now that you've connected with Xbox and things like that?
Yeah, I'd still say I'm an independent artist.
Okay.
Because what I'm classified as is ID at Xbox.
Okay.
Which would be indie developers at Xbox.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's like the goal of this show is to talk to local artists / independent artists, and that's why I'm starting in Appleton specifically.
Yeah.
So we can get to know you and get to know your art, and because there's so many artists here, and I want everyone to know more about them. Yeah, follow him, check out his stuff. Thank you for watching The Starving Artist. We did eat food, but I was charging the battery during that. But thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having
me.
me.
Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Auf Wiedersehen.